Good evening, boys and girls. Welcome to Candy's Cozy Couch. My name is Candace, and my nickname is Candy. That's how I came up with that really super de duper name. We're gonna go with super de duper because it rhymes with Cooper, and Cooper's my last name. How about that? I don't know. All right, boys and girls, I am here once again to share another story. Still daylight. It's just a little bit in the evening, like after 6:30, almost 7 o'clock around these parts. And I just felt compelled to come to the couch and share a story with you. And of course, since Pete the Cat is one of my favorite characters, I'm going to read Pete the Cat, Falling for Autumn. It's by Kimberly and James Dean. And this will be our book we read. It's the first day of autumn, and Pete the Cat is ready for the change of season. Isn't ready for the change of season until he discovers all the wonderful things about autumn, from pumpkin pie to corn mazes, hay rides, and apple picking. Pete enjoys the different delights that autumn brings. He realizes change may not be that bad after all, especially if you experience it with family and friends. Agreed. So let's see what we find here in Pete the Cat, Falling for Autumn. Here we go. Let's get a picture here I'll show you. You like the pictures? It is the first day of fall and Pete the Cat is feeling blue. I like summer better, he says. In summer I can swim and surf and play at the beach. Maybe you just need to remind yourself of all the things you love about autumn, Mom suggests. Pete says, I'll try. All right, let's see if you can get reacquainted with the fall. And I know you can't get so submersed in summer that fall is like, oh man. Pete finds Grandma in the kitchen. She's baking delicious pumpkin pies. The whole house smells sweet and spicy. Pete loves helping Grandma bake pumpkin pie, but he loves helping eat it even more. After the baking is done, Pete picks a squat orange pumpkin from the counter and slips it into his backpack as a souvenir. All right. Next, Pete heads to the town corn maze. Pete and his friends wander through the long, twisty paths made of tall corn stalks. The best part of the corn maze is getting lost and having to start over again. As he leaves, Pete plucks a golden corn cob from the maze and places it inside his backpack. Boy, he's having fun gathering remnants of the fall, isn't he, boys and girls? And how many of you guys are going on field trips to the apple orchards? Then Pete visits Grandpa, who is knitting on the porch. Grandpa helps Pete use the knitting needle to knit the yarn into cool patterns. Together, Pete and Grandpa make a long, cozy scarf for Pete to wear. When they're done, Pete chooses a little ball of leftover yarn and of course places it inside of his backpack. He's just collecting souvenirs everywhere he goes. Now he's gonna have a ball of yarn. And what's a cat without a ball of yarn, right? Next, Pete goes to the hayride at the park. Pete, Bob, Mom, Dad, and Grandpa all pile into a wagon filled with hay. They go on a bumpy wagon ride around the park. Woohoo! Pete shouts. At the end of the ride, Pete grabs a handful of sweet-smelling hay from the wagon and, of course, stuffs it in his backpack. He's going to have a full backpack by the time he gets done. Yes, indeed. Pete heads over to the apple orchard where he and Callie go apple picking. They eat sweet apples, donuts, and drink hot apple cider and fill their buckets with apples of all different shapes and sizes. Before he leaves, Pete chooses a round red apple and drops it into his backpack. Next, Pete stops by the park. He plays touch football with Bob and their friends. Pete scores a touchdown, and everyone cheers. After the game, Pete grabs Bob's football and stuffs it into his backpack. It barely fits. Bob won't mind if I borrow this, Pete says. Okay. All right. Now, how do you know that? Did you ask him, Pete? Did you ask? Because you've just been taking stuff this whole time. Finally, Pete heads back home, but he stops in his front yard, which is covered in bright leaves falling from the trees. Pete helps his dad rake the leaves into big, colorful mounds. Then Pete runs and jumps into all the leaf piles. After he's done jumping, Pete picks a bunch of red and gold and orange leaves and stuffs them, guess where? Into his backpack. That backpack tired. It's like, I can't take no more. I hope he don't put nothing else in me. That's his backpack. Pete's backpack is busting with fall souvenirs. He can't wait to show Mom. I love autumn, Pete says. Wonderful, says Mom. You know, these would make great decorations for Thanksgiving. So Pete helps Mom fill a basket with all his mementos. They place the basket at the center of the table. You did a great job, Pete, says Mom. It's beautiful, says Dad. Is that my football? Asked Bob. Just then, the doorbell rings. Oh, boy. All right, Pete. What you gonna do? The Thanksgiving guests are here. All of Pete's family and friends gather around the dining room table. They tell stories and laugh at jokes while they eat. Everyone is having a great time. Pete looks around the table and smiles. He loves lots of things about autumn, but Pete knows what he loves most all year long. Bet you can't guess what that is. What do you think? Let's see. What does he love all year long? His family and friends, of course. Yay. And that's the end. All right, boys and girls. Yet another story. Glad I was able to share with you all. Hope you enjoyed it. Now go ahead and finish out your evening. And we look forward to seeing you again here on Candy's Cozy Couch for another story. All right, enjoy. Bye-bye.